Hello viewers, and welcome back to Command Modern Air/Naval Operations. I'm your host, PPG, and today we're playing a bit more of this game, taking a look at one of the standalone scenarios, whereas last time I had, played through the air training scenario right here. So, hopefully this video will show you guys one of the real scenarios, albeit of course one of the more simple and easier ones. In general, just build off of that. So far I've run through the basic warships operations one, and I think one or two scenarios so far, but that's pretty much it. I've installed the community scenario pack here just to show you guys the full extent of the amount of scenarios available for this game, and I've got to say it's quite numerous. They seem to update it every now and then. And when they update it, they roughly add I think either like 5 to 7 scenarios each. So it's quite it's quite a nice game it has a very dedicated community there. So lots of scenarios. They seem to be, say, higher in complexity and usually higher on difficulty than, say, the ones that I would enjoy playing. But yeah, definitely a lot of stuff there. Now, back to the stuff that the game offers here. The one that we want to play is one of the most simplest scenarios out there. To be honest, I've forgotten the name, but I know the two factions involved, so we have to go through each and every single one of these to find it. Though I did play this one as well, right on Kismayo over here. That one was kind of neat. It was very event-driven, though, so I don't necessarily want to play that one once more. Now, where is it? It should be, it is actually exactly the last one in the list here. So, Operation Wooden Leg. It's a medium complexity mission, medium difficulty mission, and, first and foremost, I mean, this is a game that's more so about finding your own, fun in it. It's not exactly, say, a sandbox game, but it definitely has that element where you do really have to imagine these operations for yourself here. The general basis for this mission is we're commanding some portion of the IDF Air Force, and we're apparently supposed to make a strike on some sort of a insurgent compound all the way in Tunisia, or something along the lines of that. Yeah, Tunisia. So this is a simple, one-sided airstrike scenario, familiar with conducting and planning airstrikes with tanker support, mind you. And with that said, I mean, this is quite the nice thing to get accustomed to, scheduling these airplane runs and all, and to really just go from there. Right, so once again, we unpause the game for a few seconds, let it update, and let whatever initial events fire off. Doesn't seem to be any. So I guess the mission is really just this. Our stuff is usually marked in blue, as with this time. Some of our allies can be in blue, but this time they are in green, and our enemies are, of course, in this lovely color of red. So, fairly basic mission. We have a sortie of aircraft. We want to try to take out whatever the PLO has over here, and it seems to be a whole bunch of barracks, office buildings, and stuff and such, just like that. So, how are we going to do this? Well, the target is quite considerably farther away than what we had seen last time, and with that said, our fighters our fighter bombers, our strike forces really, will have to make the long leg trip over there and back to base. So it's quite a journey, and with that said, we'll have to use a tanker support for that. But just before I do, where is the view range bearing tool? There it is. Just before we do, I want to see how far this actually is from base to area. That looks like it is 1,200 nautical miles, just somewhere right around there. So that's nice to know, because if I check our planes here, it should tell us how many fighters we should have. So, or rather aircraft we should have, and what their ranges are. Today we're flying with a nice sortie of F-15D Eagles coming from Baz over here, from Tel Nof Air Base. We also have one over here, but I think this is just extra spare tankers, so we probably won't be using those anytime soon. Taking a look at our planes, if we remember, because I will forget soon enough. We had, yeah, somewhere right around more than 1,000 nautical miles, and these planes are only equipped for, oh no, only 900 nautical miles. So what are we going to do with that? Well, and checking out the planes with the different loadouts, so actually, both of these actually only have a radius of 900 nautical miles. So we want to know this more so because we want to position our tankers in a nice place to refuel our planes. And with that said, it looks like we have yeah, 2 Boeing tankers right over here. That is well, pretty much just loitering for us to refuel there. And it looks like they are somewhere right around 600 or 650 nautical miles out. And how do I know that? I'm just reading off that tooltip. I'm not necessarily using that rangefinder tool, but yeah, it's quite handy. If you select the things that, if you select one point and then you mouse over another, it'll tell you the nautical miles from there. So with that said, these guys are actually, say, slightly close than what I would like them to be. And what I can do is that they are scheduled to, yeah, inbound tanker orbits. They are scheduled to just orbit between A, B, C, and D, so these waypoints here, if you will. And with that said, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to move these slightly farther away. And I think I can just stretch it somewhere into this radius, but that'll be it for our fighters to be able to adequately reach them. And if I check on point A, that is, yeah, just 100 nautical miles short, so they should, in theory, have plenty of extra room. So now that we have these missions scheduled, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get these fighters or bombers, and I'm going to launch them as one big group. And then, like we had seen last time, I'm going to assign them a mission after they form up. So there we go. We have them launched, and that should get them ready. Now, with regards to the mission planning here, one of the things about rather, in my opinion, this is a game where it's like you don't necessarily have to plan your missions out very in-depthly, if you will. The first time I ran through this mission, and I'm just going to switch on to the relief layer here to show you guys why. What I had thought about doing is that if you noticed, there is quite a big mountain here, or a relatively big mountain here. So yeah, at the peak, right around 500 some meters, moving down to the shores, right around 300, 200 some, and right at the base it's 100 some. I thought about keeping my planes, say, somewhere around the coast, flying them in here and using the mountain as cover to strike through this location, but in reality what that did was that it just caused a few, it caused more complications than it was worth. So instead of having that, what I think we'll do here is we'll just get our planes to, well, plot a direct orbit to the tankers. We'll get them refilled there, and then we'll just send them directly over to bomb the living crap out of whatever they had there. Because honestly, there is exactly 0 anti-air assets here. So with that said, this should be just a very quick hop in, hop out mission, which focuses on the side of, hey, how do we want to allot our different weapons here with our with our different aircraft and all. And I think an event triggered. You can't see it because that is on my messages screen here, and that just says that the second wave of tankers are coming through here. Right. So now our planes are buzzing around over here. They are sitting inside an orbit, or sitting inside a little loop over here, and they're just doing their thing. So what we can do now is that we can directly orbit, or we can directly get these guys to refuel at these tankers if we want, or alternatively we can let the mission handle it. Either way though, we're going to get these guys to all refuel, so that is the first order of business, and all we have to do is click on that. What'll happen now is that well, because the tankers can only handle one plane at a time, these guys are going to do a little dance here, and hopefully they're going to get them well, all refueled shortly here. Or actually, no, I believe I do have to individually tab through each and every single plane for them to refuel like that. In that case, what I think I'll do is that I'm just going to add a new mission. And here's the thing, I can make one big overarching mission where I can make multiple missions to target multiple structures. So with that said, I think we'll do let's just do L strike 1, And for land strike 1, this is going to be the priority where the priority runs. So with that said, we're going to get all of these planes, the ones armed with GBU-15s, in this group. And then we're going to have LS2. And again, I mean, you can split these into individual missions if you would like, per building, or, you know, per plane, per something like that. But we're going to keep this simple, and we're going to have one main strike group, which is the 6 F-15s over here, and one that's only the 2 secondary bombers. And this is because inside this group we have a few of these F-15s armed with these GBUs for guided, you know, bombs, if you will. So these are, yeah, guided weapon surface probability hit / reliability 85%, so quite high. And because they're guided, and because I believe, yeah, they're very powerful bombs, we're going to get them to target the high priority stuff. Whereas, on the other hand, inside this pair, we have also a few of these F-15s, and they're just armed with dumb bombs, which have, well, they have a higher reliability, but of course, them being dumb bombs and all, they might not, say, hit anything. And so, with that said, we'll try to keep them onto the secondary targets. So we have all that handled over here. And all we had to do is we just had to hop over here to these buildings, zoom down to, you know, look at all of these things. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open up that mission editor, grab this, grab all of the targets, put them in here once again, and I'm going to remove all the ones that are non-essential for group number, for LS1, and I'm going to put those inside group number 2. So I definitely want, say, the Forces Administration building to be destroyed, along with the barracks, the financial office, and the HQ especially. So with that said, let's get rid of, say, all these buildings, because I only want I would prefer it if these administrative buildings were left out. I'm going to select the stuff inside the back here. I'm going to specifically leave those 2 targets for LS2 to handle. And this will effectively set up the run just as is. So now, what I can do is that I can zoom back out. I can fire this up once again. And now what should happen is that our guys will get some refueling done nice and properly and head on out. So there we go. And they managed to do that in a very small amount of time. So they managed to refuel as best as they can. These guys are headed back to base, or it looks like they completely drained one of these say Boeing tankers. So that one's heading back to base. But these guys are, yeah, all filled up except for these 2. I think these 2 got in late, so they were only able to take out a fraction of it, seeing as how obviously the tanker has to get back to base. Alright, but nevertheless, I'm sure that the game has adjusted so that they have an ample amount of fuel. And now we can speed this up. We can get our guys close to target. And what's going to happen now is that the first run over here is only going to be guided, it's going to be guided munitions, and the second volley is going to be more so dumb bombs. I think we're actually supposed to get in and out of Tunisia before, say, our allies react to whatever we have going on here. But I've yet to see that actually happen. I've yet to see the military over here, our neutral buddies over here, scramble any jets. So that is, I guess just more so of a red herring type of thing. Right, so our guys get closer. There we go. These guys have actually fired off all of their projectiles, and I guess these GBUs, you can just kind of guide them as is. So yeah, they dropped their payloads. I guess they're still in communications range with them. And those things will hopefully just smack right on top of all of our different targets here. And we'll see what happens with regards to that. It looks like they've actually only targeted that administrative building, and these 2 administrative buildings. So we'll see. And looks like impact has happened, and looks like we managed to take out one building right away. Saw a few other hits there, but I've got to say, I think they were more or less just prioritizing those 2 targets. So, just keep that in mind. these guys are going to fly in, they're going to drop in their payloads, and they have bailed. So what happens on our log in that case? Well, we get just some notifications like that. And again, this area over here is when the planes spot their target, so we get a brief look into the status of those things. Managed to hit quite a few of these different structures. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they've generated logs for each and every single one of them, but we managed to spread fire to a lot of the buildings. Took down 3, going off of the fact that every single one of these events should be for 1 building lost. So yeah, that's that. And then afterwards, our dumb bombs came in. Some of these ones missed by a whole bunch, by like 30 meters or so, but the ones that hit did some damage because it looks like 2 of their buildings had fallen down. Right, so what did we get? We got their financial offices, we got a whole bunch of admin, but their barracks seems to be fine. Yeah, their barracks is actually severe fire, so fine in my books, but we'll count that as a kill for now. But unfortunately, nothing hit the PLO HQ, or very little hit that, so keeping in mind that that may or may not have been quite a vital target. Either way, our strike is finished. The game is on its maximum setting because our planes will have to fly all the way back, and as you can see, they've decided to refuel once again at those tankers because they're smart like that. They drain the tanker dry, and those guys go back in. I could cancel the mission because these tanker runs are technically continuous, but I'm not because there's no real point. And that is pretty much that mission. Right, so next time, and again, depending on how much micromanagement you would like inside your simulation here, you could micromanage it. Last time what I did was that I split it up so that each and every single plane had a different building to hit, and they swept in like that. I don't think the dumb bomb planes actually hit anything like that, but the ones with guided missiles did. So let's see. So we got another minor victory, and once again, I hope you guys enjoyed our mission for the day. And chances are is that we'll probably see a few more rounds of this game at the very least. And would you look at that, 5 buildings destroyed. Right. So bye bye for now.